Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Schubert and this is another GlobalShop tutorial video. This video is meant for our sales team here at Advanced Machine and Engineering, but can be helpful to anyone who's trying to further familiarize themselves with GlobalShop. This video is going to be about the use of events. I'll start by saying that events can be for opportunities and for companies, but not contacts. And what I mean by that is you can create an event from the company's page or the opportunities page, but not contacts. So if for those of you that use Salesforce, you're probably familiar with terms like tasks or activities and logging calls. And I believe Salesforce actually had something called an event as well. In GlobalShop, all of those things are going to be recorded under events. I'll show you what I mean in a moment, but before we click this new event button right here, this is a good opportunity to make another point. Before you click the new event button, if you're already selected on a company or an opportunity that you're making the event for, you'll save yourself some time because this information will auto-populate, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to select over this accuracy incorporated. You can tell I'm selected on it because the information for it is displayed over here on the right. So after you're selected, you hit new event, and you can see right here that the company's already in there. And then if I had contacts for this company, which I don't, I could put those right here. Now let's actually get into this. So after you've clicked the new event button, you'll see a small window open up like right here. And there's about a dozen different fields you have to fill out. It doesn't take that long. However, because this is new and we're still kind of getting used to it, it's best to form good habits now. So meaning that we want to make sure we're being descriptive, filling all the important stuff out, crossing T's, dotting I's, stuff like that. So starting at the top, we have the title. This should serve as a quick way of identifying exactly what this event was without clicking on it. You guys send lots of emails every day, so this should come pretty naturally. We'll be treating this like the subject line in an email. So more often than not, you can read the subject of an email and know exactly what the email is going to be about, and that's our goal with the title here. Next is the type. This is a drop-down box, so you can select what kind of interaction occurred. It's pretty straightforward. Next to that is priority. This field isn't required, but you can use it how you'd like. It has a low, normal, and high priority. So maybe if you really wanted to stress the urgency of an event, you could put it as a high priority. Again, it's not required, but use it as you want. After that is status. Status is something that you'll possibly need to update as the event progresses, especially if you create the event before it actually took place. So for example, if you create an event prior to your meeting with, let's say, Joe, you'll have the status as pending like you see here. If you have it as pending and your meeting with Joe came and went, you'll want to change it to completed. And then the last option, which is canceled, is if maybe Joe called off last minute or some other factor made it so you couldn't go in. Rather than delete the event entirely, in that case, you'd want to just put it as canceled, so that way we at least have this recorded. We'll put completed. After that, this information is already filled in for me because, like I showed earlier, if you have it already selected when you hit the new event, it would auto-populate. If I hadn't done that, then we would just hit this drop-down arrow and we could just type in whatever our company was, and the same goes for contacts. After that, start end time. This is where you record where this event is supposed to take place. You can also include how long you think it will take by putting in a start and an end time. Maybe it goes down to the minutes, but I guess if you want to just have it as hours, that's okay. Click the all day if it was an all day thing, and after it's all finished and you can come back to this event, you can hit the close events. That way everyone knows that it's finished. This section right here, recipients, this is a section you'll want to pay a little extra attention to. I'm going to explain these boxes one at a time. You can't actually check the multiple recipients box, but if you hit this plus sign right here, you can add multiple people to this event. So I'm gonna add Nick. So you can see his name appears here, and then the multiple recipients gets grayed out because there's more than one person now. If you hit the notification request, it will send an Outlook email to all tagged recipients with some details about this event. We have yet to determine if this is something we actually want to use. The email it sends is pretty bare bones and doesn't include a lot of useful detail. And I'll actually show you what it looks like just so you can get an idea. This is one right here. So we can see the title of the email of the event, which was fixturing meeting. You can see when it starts and ends for date, but not time. You see the company name, and then this is where we'll get to this later in the video, but this is where you would record like what was said, like the interaction. Moving on, this post to alternate. We don't currently have a use for this. Once we upgrade to the newer version of GlobalShop, which I believe is happening in a month or two, checking this box will add the event to your Outlook calendar. But because it's currently unusable, I'm not sure if every recipient would get this put into their calendar, but that's something we can look into when that update comes around. This last box, reminder, this is for your own benefit. You can include a timer, which will give a notification on GlobalShop when it runs out. It can be as little as 5 minutes or can go up to 2 weeks. The notification only appears when you open up GlobalShop, unfortunately, so not Outlook. So in order to receive reminders for your events, you actually have to be in GlobalShop. Next one, this additional info section group. This is a drop-down box where you can select the business unit. Straightforward. So let's say this was for fixturing. We'll put Amrock. We aren't going to use subgroup, and then location. For example, it has a drop-down box, but you can actually type into this field. So if you wanted to just put it was at AME, or it was at a customer facility. After that is purge date. You definitely don't want to use this. Purge date would essentially just delete this event from the database once that date came around. So we want to keep records of all this stuff, all the interactions we have with customers. So we're not going to use this. And then right over here, these meta boxes. This part is simple, but it's important. So you can ignore these 1 through 4 boxes, but for in the meta 0 box, we want you to type out your full name, like I'm doing right now. So capitalize the first letters, spaces, so just like that. And the purpose of this is to help us find and sort events based on who made them. If you forget to put your name here, we aren't going to be able to know who created this event. This might change in the future, but if we find a more efficient way to do it, but for the time being, please put your name here like you see mine. And then lastly, when you logged a call in Salesforce, there was a field where you wrote out what took place during the call, what was said, how it went, what you expect from it. And this is what we're going to be using the description field for. Something like met with Thomas, it went well. That's not going to cut it. Without writing too much, explain what was said, whether it was a positive or a negative interaction, if you expect further business because of this event, etc. If you you can word this however you want, but remember to be consistent in these descriptions, meaning don't leave anything important out. And that about wraps it up. Sorry it took so long to get this video out. If it gives you any trouble, like always, let me know. If you guys have any questions, I'll be sure to answer them. Hope this video helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. See ya.